guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, got an email from a subscriber. This is a young guy, he's 23 years old, and he's writing and asking my advice on some tips and suggestions that he can have to really help him stay laser focused on his goals so he can achieve what he wants to achieve in life, as well as how to get rid of all those distractions that can really slow a guy's progress down. And I thought it'd be a really good one to go over here, guys, because let's be honest here, all of you guys, I'm sure many of you watching me, all you guys should have goals, things to get better at in life, to take yourself to the next level, or you are already in that place where you are trying to do so. So I thought it'd be a good one to go over here. And let's also be honest here that a lot of guys, unfortunately, don't meet their goals because it's very easy to get sidetracked, life gets in the way and all that. So I'm going to definitely go over this guy's brief email here. You'll hear about a situation, and I'll explain what, in my opinion, are the most important things to help young guys get where they want to be. And before I get into it, I'm going to say this, is that this is why I say it's so important that, you know, the choices you make between ages 15, 16 through 25 can really set the course of how your life's going to go. So it's important to make these right choices and to know these things early on. Because as you are aware, for you guys that are older, you're married, have kids, once you have a wife and kids, it's very hard to really, you're so busy with your job, bringing home the bacon to take care of your family or help take care of your family and raising the kids and all that entails, it's very hard to have time for other things. So it's always important to do this stuff earlier in life when you don't have those responsibilities. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's infinitely harder when you get older and have those responsibilities. So it says here, Dear SSM, I hope this message finds you well. Over the past 2 months, I've been binge watching a ton of your videos from both of your channels, SSM and They Did What. And they brought about positive changes in my life. I appreciate the straightforward and practical advice that you share. I'm 23 years old and have had my entire life ahead of me. While I have a girlfriend, I've managed to remain emotionally detached, which I see as a step in the right direction. However, I am struggling with fully focusing on my goals and minimizing distractions. Could you please provide some advice on how to stay laser focused on my goals and block out everything and everyone else that may hinder my progress? Your insights will be invaluable as I navigate this phase of my life. Thank you for the great content you produce and taking the time to read my message. Best regards. Well, bro, the first thing I can tell you, if you want to minimize distractions and stay laser focused on your goals, is get rid of this girlfriend. And I say this because we all heard it in your email. She obviously is not that important to you because you said you able to remain unattached. Well, trust me, obviously she's not that important to you, so I get rid of her because nothing can take up a man's time than a girlfriend. And last time I checked, in case some of you were born yesterday, women who really like their guy, they want to be around him all the freaking time. They want his attention. So that's going to definitely hinder your progress. So since she's obviously not that important to you, I'd cut her loose. But that wasn't my main reason. So I'll come back to that later. But the main issues is, I would say the first thing to stay laser focused on your goals to get where you want to be is to always have that grand vision of what you want, right? A lot of people, like, they say they want to do certain things or have achievements in life, but they really don't determine exactly what they want. So whatever that goal may be, if it's this enormous goal, come to understand what that giant vision is, whatever that may be, and then don't let that vision ever get out of your head. You need to be focused on this all the freaking time. It's basically an obsession. This is why, interestingly, a lot of people that have been very successful in life, a lot of businessmen and women, as well as athletes, musicians, I've read this, have obsessive compulsive disorder in varying degrees. And while it can be obviously a hindrance in so many ways, it also helps them stay laser focused because they become obsessed at becoming good or great at whatever they're doing. But anyhow, it's got to become an obsession. Like it's the last thing you think about before you go to bed and the first thing you think about when you get up in the morning. And always remember what it is that you want. Because it's very easy to get into the daily routine of things. And I'll give you an example. Let's just say that you have a dream of building an amazing big business. And you finally have a side business and you turn that into a full-time operation, but it's nowhere near where you want it to be. It's very easy to get caught up in the daily routine of running that business, but not moving that business in the direction of to get where you want it to be, a very large operation, maybe a world-changing business. Who knows? So you have to constantly while doing the daily routine. Focus on the bigger thing all the time. Otherwise, you get lost. Or like, say you, I don't know, say you're young and you want to become a bodybuilder, right? Like actually a pro. It's easy to you hit the gym multiple times a week and you're training your arms and your legs and your chest and all that and do the workouts and all that. But it's easy just to get into the routine of just doing that multiple times a week and forgetting your grand goal. So every time you do every set for your chest, your biceps, you need to vision why you're doing that to get where you want to be. And by the way, this is what I'm describing here, and this is not me. This is what I learned by listening to a speech from Arnold Schwarzenegger. He talked about vision, always having that vision in your head. Otherwise, you get kind of stuck where you are. And the same thing applied to the biceps and the chest and why you're doing it. So you got to always have that vision in your head and make it an obsession to get where you want to be. When I started this channel, I love what I do here on YouTube. So I always am thinking about business before I go to bed, get up in the morning. It's always on my mind. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have noticed that I crank out a lot of content because it's my passion. Oh, and by the way, you guys always like to know things about me. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. My mother has it really fucking bad. I have it, not like her. And so that's been pros and cons of that in my life. The pro is it lets me stay focused on my goals. I obsess about it. The problem is that I'm a neat freak and I have other OCD things that I want in order in my house, but that's a whole other thing. No, I'm not crazy. I'm not turning into fucking Howard Hughes or anything like that, but it has helped me, but it is pros and cons. But a little side note there, because a lot of successful people actually have OCD. There, you learned something about me. Now videos are going to pop up making fun of SSM with OCD. So yes, have that vision. You can't let that go. Second most important thing is you got to make sacrifices. Willing to make sacrifices, particularly in the short term. And that is where a lot of people go wrong and they don't get where they want to be in life. For instance, I spent 7 years as a personal trainer, 2 years working at a couple gyms, 5 years on my own. The most successful people that got where they wanted to be in terms of transforming their bodies are the ones that made sacrifices. Not just showing up for the workouts and working hard. I'm talking about with the diet. As many of you are well aware that diet, if you want to look great or transform your body, diet, what you consume, all that is about 80% of the whole equation. Exercise and lifting weights, that's great, don't get me wrong. That's a small portion of the whole deal. Well, guess what? Most people are not willing to change their eating habits, and therefore they don't get the results they want. I would always start off with new clients being as blunt as I am here, but in a nice way, that, okay, it's great you want to do the workouts and all that, but you got to change your diet. And I would have people stare at me like I was asking them to give up their firstborn child. Or just be like, yeah, I'm going to do that. No, they don't. And I had some people that had the gall to give me shit after months of training, and they weren't losing any weight or losing body fat. That's a better way to describe it. They may have been getting stronger, particularly the guys, but they're not losing body fat. And I'd ask them about their diet. Oh, well, I had this guy once. No joke. I was 39 years old. This is one of the things that really led me to being done at the gym, because at the gym, you would have to get your own clients, but they also would assign them to you. I had this guy who was in his early 40s. He was a dad, 2 kids, and work out 3 times a week. We'd lift weights and all that. And he did good. He got stronger, but he would never lose that freaking anything on his belly. Now, obviously, in the beginning, it's challenging. And I found out from him that every day during the work week, 5 days a week, every day he would treat himself to go to McDonald's and get one of those like 1,500, 2,000 calorie McFlurry things with like Lord knows how many grams of sugar, right? 5 days a week. And he's bitching because he's not losing his gut. It's like, bro, I told you in the beginning, you gotta make sacrifice. I know. And he gave me some bullshit excuse. And it just drove me crazy working with people like that. And eventually when I started my own business, I had a lot of people, I could choose who I worked with. And anybody that was a pain in the ass, eventually I would just phase out. When I started on YouTube, and I had a full load of personal training clients. And as I became more successful in YouTube and started making vastly more money from YouTube than in personal training, I then started scaling back my client list. And the people I got rid of first were the ones that weren't the most serious students. I did take some people that they were all good people, don't get me wrong, but just some people would half-ass it. And I got tired of it. I kept the people who worked hard, put in the effort, both in the workouts and outside of them. I just got tired of the excuse makers, So anyhow, you have to be willing to make sacrifices to get where you want. That's the point of the whole thing here. So guys, if you say you want to start your own business, or you start a side business, but you got to work really hard at it and all that, or you're studying to become really good at something, you require time. You got to sacrifice your time. So if you spend the whole weekend hanging out with your bros, that means maybe instead of hanging out with them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you're hanging out with them one night for a few hours, and the rest of the weekend you're dedicating towards whatever it is you're trying to get better at, studying for something to for a degree, or working hard to move up for that promotion at work, or working on that side business. Yeah, less fun time. Or say you like going to the gym 6 days a week. You lift weights and you work upper body 3 days a week and lower body 3 days a week. Well, now you got to scale back probably to 4 times a week, where you hit upper body and lower body twice a week instead of 3 times. Or you scale it back to twice a week, where you do a full body workout each time, but significantly less. You'll stay in shape, you'll stay fit, but you won't be as massive as you were before, but freeing up time towards your goal, making sacrifices. Or with girlfriends. Girlfriends really take up a lot of freaking time. So saying, you know what, my goals are important to me, whatever they are. I need the extra time. So no girlfriends for a couple of years, no dating. Fine. You know, you have to be willing to make sacrifices, but most people are not willing to do that. And also sacrifice people in your life that may turn on you because they are jealous that you're moving up in the world, that you're scaling back time you hang out with your friends. I'm not saying you cut off your friends, you just spend less time doing that type of stuff. They may not like it, and you have to be willing to accept that, you know what, maybe they're not my friends after all. So you got to have the grand vision in your head all the time, where you want to be, focusing on that, willing to make sacrifices to your time, because think about it, guys, you only have 24 hours in a day. You got to sleep a certain portion of that, right? So you only have so many hours. So, and then you, of course, have to have a job that you work at, earn an income. So, but you have to be willing to make sacrifices. And that is primarily the number one reason people can't get where they want to be. And the third thing is, guys, honestly, to stay laser focused on your goals and get where you want to be, is honestly, you got to try to get a little bit better every day, whatever that may be. So again, if you're trying to, you're full load and maybe you have a job, but you're also studying to get a master's in something or study for a certification, even if you're super busy, you don't have a lot of time that day, even if you just had an extra half an hour that day you studied, at least you're getting a little bit better every day. And as you get a little bit better every day, you're going to feel good. Even though it could be years before you get where you want to be, turn that side business into a full-time business, turn that full-time business into a thriving operation. You're doing something every day to move in that direction. And that's what you got to, baby steps, And sometimes you have leaps and bounds. But the point is, you're moving in the right direction. So that's what I think you should do, bro. And to all you guys out there that want to improve it yourself. And I would say maybe a fourth thing is ignore the naysayers. Most people in this world are miserable in varying degrees. They're not where they want to be in life. They don't like where they live. They don't like their jobs. They don't like their income. They don't like who they have as a romantic partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, whatever. They don't like their friends. And yet they're not willing to really do anything about it except bitch and complain and blame everybody else for their shortcomings in life. And when you have people like that around you and you're trying to better yourself and achieve something, they're the first ones that are going to shit on you because their life sucks. They haven't done anything. And they don't want anybody else to be any better than them because it makes them feel like crap. Because then they feel like losers because, they aren't having the balls and the self-discipline and willing to make sacrifices and all that like you are. So they're going to try to, bring you down. So ignore those people that say it can't be done. Don't get me wrong. It's important to have people in your circle that can give you some warranted advice. And if you have some harebrained idea and they're telling you it's not going to work, that's different. But if it's a realistic thing and they're shitting on you, don't listen to them. Surround yourself with people that are go-getters, that say things can be done, and they'll find a way and help you on that path. Because if they're not helping you on the path, they're not worth it in your life. So there you go, bro. So congratulations to you, 23. You got your whole life ahead of you. Don't fuck it up. So I say, kick this girl to the curb. You're not that into her anyway, let's be honest here. It's going to waste your time and your money and your energy. Start making sacrifices in other areas so you can save time, so you can then use that time towards your goal, whatever that may be, because you didn't say what it is. And never let go of that vision in your head. Always have it there. When you get up in the morning, at night, it becomes a fucking obsession. And again, if you have OCD, no problem, because when you focus on something, you just can't stop fucking thinking about it. But But not everybody has OCD, and honestly, that is kind of a blessing, because otherwise you're a neat freak, want everything in order. Don't need that shit. But anyhow, bro, that's what I think. So if you apply these principles, and you know, it's going to be challenging, especially with the stuff that you enjoy, but think long term, because it doesn't mean you have to make these sacrifices forever just till you get where you want to be. But I'm willing to bet you, once you achieve that goal, whatever that may be, and for any of you guys out there, then you're achieving goals and accomplishments are going to become addictive. And then you're going to be on to the next thing, you know, and you can apply those principles. So that's what I think. So, bro, I wish you all the best, and I really hope things go well for you. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.